Good morning and welcome to our very last week of our David study. I hope that you have enjoyed it as much as we have and that this has been a great encouragement to you. Our theme for this week is David, a man of faith. And the passage that we're studying today is possibly maybe the most famous passage in the Bible in terms of Bible stories. It is for sure probably the most famous story about David himself because it's about David and Goliath. But what I want us to focus on is the faith that David displays during this whole event. His father, just a little bit of background, I'm sure that you've read this. His father tells him to go and to deliver some lunch to his brothers who were fighting in Saul's army. And when he gets to the battlefield, he sees that Goliath and the Philistines are kind of harassing and taunting the Israelites. It's like they're trash talking them, right? And the Israelites are being pretty cowardly. No one is willing to step up. No one is willing to fight Goliath. They're all pretty fearful. And David can't even believe it. He is like, you know what? Send me. I'll do it. I'll take on Goliath. No problem. And at first, Saul refuses. And David says to him, you know what? I have seen God's power in my life. And he recounts to him specifically the times when God helped him fight bears and lions, literally, when he had to watch his father's sheep. And these experiences grew David's faith so much so that he is confident about God's faithfulness. He is confident about God being capable to work powerfully through his people. It reminded me of Martin Luther's quote on faith. This is what he said. He said, "Faith is a living, daring confidence in God's grace, so sure and certain that a man could stake his life on it 1,000 times." Right? It is this unshakable confidence that allowed David to say to Goliath, "You come at me with a sword and with a spear and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel." David knew he needed nothing else. If God was on his side, it didn't matter what man had, he would win. So David's faith in God's ability was so sure that he literally staked his life on it, and that is faith. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen." This is difficult for us. This is really difficult for us because we want to see things. And we want to be able to examine something. We want there to be proof. We want to have assurance of things. And so for us to have to put our faith in something that is not seen can be very difficult. But our faith is also not built on our own imagination of God, but on what we know to be true of Him. And the only way that we can know what God is like and what He's capable of is by knowing our Bibles, right? Our Bibles are a written testimony of God's power and faithfulness, and this should be fuel to our faith. Remember this, God is with you and He is for you. He watches over you and He dwells in you. You may not be able to see God with your eyes, but you certainly can see His power in and through your life. And this is what I want our challenge to be this week. I want us to take the week to examine our life, to think back over our life, and to write down all the times that God's power has been made evident in it. And it can be in small ways, it can be in big ways. How has God's hand been on your life? Think about your salvation. Think about trials that you have gone through and how you've made it through, and maybe the people that God has sent into your life. Think about your daily life. Think of all the things that God has done. And I really hope that by the end of this week that your faith will have grown some, that your confidence in God will be so secure that whatever He calls you to, you will say, "I'm going, I'm doing whatever it is that you call me to do because I know what you're capable of, and if you're on my side, I can't fail." Anyway, I hope that you have a really blessed week as we finish up our David study, and I hope to see you again maybe with our next study. See you later. Bye.